Best wired gaming mouse in 2023. Having the best gaming mouse can mean the difference between victory and defeat, whether you're immersing yourself in massive single-player adventures. For more information, I have links, products in description. Make sure you check it out. Like the video, comment, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. Number 1. Logitech G502 X Lightspeed. Like its predecessors, the Logitech G502 X Lightspeed is a strong contender for the best gaming mouse on the market. This peripheral is comfortable and functional in equal measure, combining an ergonomic design with a convenient button layout and a long battery life. The design isn't terribly different from that of its predecessor, the Logitech G502 Lightspeed, but nothing much really needed to change. With 9 programmable buttons and access to the robust Logitech G Hub software, you can do quite a lot with the G502 X Lightspeed. Whether you want to play action/adventure games, massively multiplayer online, MMO games, or anything in between, it's an excellent all-purpose mouse that handles just about any genre well. You can also spring for the slightly more expensive Logitech G502 X Plus if you want colorful RGB lighting, but it's not necessary, especially if battery life is your first concern. Number 2. SteelSeries Rival 3. When I reviewed the SteelSeries Rival 3, I did a double take when I learned how much this mouse cost. $30 is what you'd usually pay for a cheap, no-name gaming mouse on Amazon, but not for a high-quality peripheral from a major manufacturer. And yet, the Rival 3 features the same superlative Danish engineering and robust software as other SteelSeries mice. It even has subtle RGB lighting, thanks to a rather elaborate LED strip on the bottom of the mouse. The biggest selling point of the Rival 3, however, is its incredibly lightweight, 2.7 ounces. SteelSeries claims that this feature can help sports players who rely on subtle twitches and quick wrist motions to dominate the competition. Even if you're not an ultra-competitive player, however, the Rival 3 is a comfortable, well-designed mouse with far more features than you'd expect for the price. Tom's Guide is also currently in the process of reviewing the SteelSeries Rival 3 wireless variant. The best word to describe the Rival 3 is unassuming. It doesn't look cheap. The black plastic chassis has a few tasteful angles, and it's coated in a comfortable, sweat-resistant material, but the only aesthetic touch is an LED strip on the underside, which is, admittedly, a pretty cool thing to find on such a cheap mouse. The device measures 4.8 x 2.3 x 0.9 inches, making it both very small and very low to the ground. Number 3. Razer DeathAdder V2. The Razer DeathAdder V2 is the latest in a long line of Razer DeathAdder mice. The very first DeathAdder came out in 2006, and since then, it's sold more than 10 million units. The reason behind the mouse's ongoing popularity is simple. It's a very, very good mouse. The DeathAdder V2 features a comfortable grip, plenty of programmable buttons, customizable RGB lighting, and excellent performance across a variety of genres. There's almost nothing working against the DeathAdder V2, save for a sometimes recalcitrant software suite, and the fact that other mice offer a lot more bells and whistles. On the other hand, if you want something that's both straightforward and full-featured, the DeathAdder V2 is one of the very best gaming mice on the market. If you want something smaller, there's also the Razer DeathAdder V2 Mini to consider. Consider also the Razer DeathAdder V2 Pro, which is a wireless version of the beloved mouse. Razer Viper Ultimate is another wireless mouse to consider. Number 4. Corsair Harpoon RGB Wireless. The Corsair Harpoon RGB Wireless is perhaps the best gaming mouse if you're looking for an inexpensive wireless mouse from a major manufacturer. For $50, you still get a whole lot of functionality. This mouse features an ergonomic design with textured grips, a deep software suite, and flawless wireless functionality. You get a powerful, high DPI sensor, functional RGB lighting, and 2 programmable, convenient thumb buttons. It's a straightforward mouse, but it's a surprisingly good one, especially considering that it costs about $100 less than most wireless mice. Another useful feature of the Harpoon RGB Wireless is that it offers Bluetooth functionality, so you can use it with tablets, smartphones, and streaming devices, or with a computer. If you don't feel like hooking up a USB dongle, with all the lights turned off and the mouse in Bluetooth mode, you can get up to 60 hours of battery life. Even with all the bells and whistles powered up, the mouse can last for a few days of heavy gaming, and you can recharge via USB while you play. Number 5. Razer Basilisk V3. The Razer Basilisk V3 improves on the Razer Basilisk V2's great design, adding a better sensor and better gliding feed. This time around, there's also a creative new feature, a scroll wheel that automatically adjusts, depending on whether you're making minute motions in a game or scrolling through hundreds of rows in a spreadsheet. The Basilisk V3 is especially helpful for FPS players who need to aim precisely, but it's also perfectly good all-purpose gaming mouse. My only real issue with the Basilisk V3 is that I missed a less conventional paddle design from the previous model. Otherwise, bear in mind that the Razer Synapse software is robust, although it may take a few days to learn all of the options at your disposal. Previous Basilisk models had a small clutch, or paddle, that extended below the two main thumb buttons. It was extremely easy to reach, but it was also extremely easy to remove. If you didn't want a third thumb button, the Basilisk V3 eschews the paddle in favor of a non-removable, square sniper button, which lowers DPI as you hold it down, and slows down mouse movement for sensitive in-game tasks, lining up a sniper shot. For example, the sniper button works fine, but the paddle was a more innovative solution, since many other gaming mice offer sniper buttons. Furthermore, being able to remove the paddle kept just about everyone happy. Number 6. Razer Naga Trinity. The Razer Naga Trinity is arguably the best gaming mouse for MMO, though thanks to its unique design, it can also be the best gaming mouse for MOBAs, or even action/adventure games. Rather than being stuck with a single style of thumb buttons, the Naga Trinity offers 3 swappable panels, one with 2 buttons, one with 7 buttons in a hex pattern. Really? Hep. But let's not split hairs, and one with a whopping 12 buttons. The 12-button configuration is incredibly useful for World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy Roman 14 and other MMO favorites, but the other 2 side panels ensure that you can use the Naga Trinity with just about any genre and still excel. It's a large, heavy mouse, which is good for players with large hands, and the side panels are effortless to swap in and out. If you prefer a wireless model, consider the similarly excellent Razer Naga Pro instead. The only major problem with the Razer Naga, in either its original or hex flavors, was the sheer number of buttons. Having 7 or 12 thumb buttons could be useful in Final Fantasy Roman 14, sure, but it wasn't so great for The Witcher 3 or Google Chrome, for that matter. The Naga Trinity solves this problem neatly by offering 3 distinct side panels: the traditional 12-button layout, the circular hex layout, and a simple 2-button layout, similar to what you'd find on Razer's popular DeathAdder. Number 7. HyperX Pulsefire Core. The HyperX Pulsefire Core is one of those what you see is what you get gaming mice. It's a simple, inexpensive device with 2 thumb buttons, 2 extra face buttons, and not much else. You can program the device with the HyperX Ingenuity software, and you can even adjust a small RGB HyperX logo on the palm rest. But aside from that, the Pulsefire Core is a no-frills gaming mouse, and that's why it excels. Without any fancy bells and whistles to bog it down, you can simply plug the Pulsefire Core into your computer and use it. No learning curve or fancy programming required. It works well across a wide variety of game genres, from RTS to MMO. At less than $30, it's one of the cheapest peripherals you can get from a major manufacturer, but it doesn't skimp on quality. Number 8. Razer Orochi V2. The Razer Orochi V2 is the latest in a long line of excellent laptop-focused gaming mice from Razer. This compact mouse features 2 wireless modes, 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth, as well as 6 programmable buttons, a max DPI of 18,000 and full compatibility with the sensible Razer Synapse software. It's easy to use and easy to transport, and it's an excellent accessory for both productivity and gaming. The Orochi V2 admittedly lacks some of the features we like in Razer's more premium mice. There's no rechargeable battery, so you'll be reliant on wasteful AA batteries instead. You also won't get pretty RGB lighting. On the other hand, you will get hundreds of hours of battery life, at least in Bluetooth mode.